welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
And remember, our goal is always to guide you to personal and financial wellness.
Well, thank you for hanging in for the second half of the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here in your hometown station, AM 1220. Now, for over 6 years, we've been able to do this. And shh, don't tell anybody at KHTS.
All right, but we do want you to send us information, send us emails, send us love, send us hate, something. Communicate.
No. We're lovers. We're lovers.
Okay.
You can reach out to our Facebook page at Don and Gino.
Just going to take them to our website, to donandgino.com. Don. I just wanted to get you to donandgino.com. That's our hub. That's where everything that we do, including the National Real Estate Cafe, the radio show, America's Professional Resource Group, etc. All the things we've got our hands into, all of them to help guide you to personal and financial wellness.
Yeah, go to the YouTube channel. It has over 1,700 YouTube videos with interviews with great professionals like we have today. In fact, I think, Scott, you're probably on 30 of them at least.
Good.
Yeah, because we have those segments. We break them up into 2 segments each time you're on the show. And you've been on the show 6, 7, 8 times or so almost since the very beginning.
Yeah,
I know it's been at least 4.5 years you've been on the show.
Yeah.
Because I know it's since basically meeting you at Afterburn Fitness.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to be like him.
You still want to be like him.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, boy.
So what Scott does for us is he does all of our life insurance. And what's nice about Scott is he doesn't push you in any direction at all whatsoever. Just gives you a bunch of options. And God knows I asked him for a bunch of options. He didn't even believe it was ever going to really happen. Right? How many things?
2 years.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
only 2 years.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, please don't wait 2 years.
I know. Good thing nothing happened to me, though. That was
I know,
That
think
was a
about
good
it.
hedge.
Dude.
Save some money there.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, on your family's backs.
In my defense, I had some life insurance. I just didn't have the right life insurance.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what we're going to talk about today is like a lot of us set it and forget it with life insurance, and I don't think that's really the product that we're looking at. I think it requires some management, let's call it. So tell us a little bit about that.
Basically what we're recommending is you always just really stay on top of your life insurance. Because people, like you said, they set it and they forget it. And they don't realize that if they're buying a term, there's different types of policies. There's term life insurance where you're buying it for a certain term, 10, 15, 20, or 30 years. But then there's permanent life insurance, and there's a lot of different kinds. And if it's not set up correctly, it could be a disaster. So we recommend you pay attention to your policies. So.
All right, Scott, can you do me a favor to help a lot of you out there? Because I even get confused at times, and I've been confused and got hosed because you saw one of my policies I had to get rid of. Scott helped me with that. And Scott's with, and again, by the way, we're here with Scott Zimmerman with Corporate Strategies. Right. Been around, 27, 28 years?
December will be 29 years.
29 years. Yeah. So, again, remember, we always bring very experienced, and I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference because you've been there, seen it all, helped it all. It makes a difference to have a very experienced. I know Gino and I, because of all our experience doing home loans, we know what to look for. We know what questions to ask. We know what things to watch out for. So does Scott. And so give us a quick breakdown because there's term, because you got all these commercials like, you can get this insurance for this, and you can get this insurance, and you'll have all this money when you retire, and we'll put in a savings account, and you're making money on your insurance.
Right.
There's a difference between term, whole life, permanent insurance. Give us a little breakdown.
Index.
Yeah, exactly. So term insurance is term insurance. It's basically like getting homeowners insurance or car insurance. You pay for it. If something happens to you, your family will get tax-free death benefit. Right?
Okay.
Nice.
But if you buy a 10-year term, it just means the rates are guaranteed for 10 years, but the 11th year it skyrockets.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But then there's permanent insurance, which means permanent is forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Permanent. But there's a whole bunch of different kinds. There's universal life. There's guaranteed universal life. There's equity index life. There's whole life. There's variable universal. I can go on and on. There's a lot of different kinds. So it's like you really want to find the right one that's going to fit your needs and wants. You just mentioned you can have a permanent insurance policy, you can earn a lot of money, and you can retire Yes, there's some great ones out there if they're set up correctly. But you want to make sure they're set up correctly.
But a lot of them, you got to be careful too, because they'll promise you, here's what, your cash balance, you'll make money on it. And then you may not know that, but you can't touch it for 7 years or something. I mean, there's so many idiosyncrasies that you need a professional. They're not selling you insurance to make money. They're selling you what's going to protect your family and do what's right based on your particular scenario, what you want to accomplish. Like we were talking about before. Okay, great, your home's paid for. And God forbid something happens to you, they now have a home free and clear with no money in their pocket.
Right.
So you got to think about all those things.
There's a lot. Just you want to pay off your home if you have a family. You want to make sure if something happened to you, if you have children, to make sure your kids go through college. If your wife's not working, you want to make sure she can keep that same lifestyle. Do you want to leave a legacy? Maybe you want to leave your family a lot of money so you're never forgotten and you leave them wealthy. There's so many different reasons. And then
that way you actually get a nice headstone.
Right, exactly. And then you get the people that say,
beloved father, not he died.
Right. I've heard so many different things. Yeah.
Don.
I know, it's so bad. But I mean, it's kind of like, Dad was great.
Oh, God.
There's a lot of reasons to buy life insurance. You just want to make sure you have the right one.
So on that note, I want to talk about experience for a second, because you touched on it, Don. And life insurance, to me today, and I don't mean to bash on your industry, but to me today, life insurance is what mortgages were in the year 2002, 2003. Pretty much all the people I knew that were unscrupulous in the mortgage industry went to insurance. And so that's scary. Yeah. And it is scary that although you're supposed to have a license to sell insurance, there's a lot of massive marketing companies.
Yes.
Massive. And I don't even know they change their names every 6 years so that you don't remember how many people they scammed over.
Isn't that the truth?
Right?
Yeah.
And so they're massive marketing companies that what they do is they say, why don't you bring your family members and I'll sell them insurance, and I know what I'm doing even though you don't know what you're doing. And ultimately, really, neither one of those two people are absolute insurance professionals. Right. They're marketing professionals that are selling insurance. So be ultra cautious with these companies. Do your research, do your homework, look for someone like Scott. And I think we're all talking about.
But they might save me money.
Well, so I'm going to, let's just call it World Financial Group, because that's what it was. And you could go do the research of what their name is today. But that's what it was, right? And so that's a really scary thing.
Before that, a different name.
Right. and then after that, a different name.
A.L. Williams.
Yeah, exactly. It was A.L. Williams.
America, too. And not saying they're bad, because I'm not bashing anybody. I mean, there's probably a lot of good representatives. There's probably a lot of good there.
But there are.
Yeah.
But there's also some that literally were a housewife or a guy who just lost his job, and now I'm going to do this.
Right.
But they don't have experience. Nothing against the housewife but they really, because I checked into because they wanted me to do their home loans for them. At the time they didn't do home loans. Like, hey, we need somebody to handle home loans. I'm like, great. And I'm watching them. I'm like, oh my gosh, you can't spell insurance, and you're going to go sit down with a family, and it's something that's one of the most imperative things that they can be researching. You think it's not a big deal until you need it. You've seen it. We've heard it. Shoot, Lisa Odom, we both know. She's got families that they're devastated because they were not protected properly because what she has,
six or seven
unprotected
seven widows.
Yeah, that they died out of strange occurrence. Either died early of a heart attack or a car accident or something that was just not planned. And their businesses weren't planned and all that. Like you protect Gino and I because we're partners. Right. So we have insurance on each other. Finally.
Yeah.
Gino's like, oh, yeah, I'm protected for about a year when he wasn't. But now we're both protected because you've set us up. And that's a good thing because stuff happens.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
it does.
It does. So I guess in the moral of the story, and Scott's going to go into some more details and stuff, and we're going to go into the life insurance audit meeting, checking your insurance. I just wanted you all to kind of have a better idea of a sense of what the different insurance policies are, because not one size fits all, and that's why you want to work with a professional. We do the same thing we do home loans. There's some people like, hey, how long are you going to stay in this home? I go, well, I have to move in 2 years because my daughter graduates. I'm like, why you get a 30-year loan? Let's say give you a 0.5% lower interest rate and get you into a different loan. And they're like, you can do that? Yes, we can. and so we save them $15,000 in interest or something over that time. I'm just throwing out numbers, but not one size fits all. So stay tuned because Scott Zimmerman with Corporate Strategies, I call him Corporate Strat, but Corporate Strategies is going to share with you some important things. And he's going to show you that 2 years can cost you over $1,000 a year for the same insurance. When we come back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show.